Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about it feels like weaponized incompetence. Instacart customer claims male shopper lied about meatballs being out of stock. Why do I feel like this is gonna feature my sister? So, as we all know, there has been a certain amount of discourse between male shoppers on Instacart and female customers, which is annoying in its own right, but it's also to be said that the customer is also liable because they are taking the innate risk of having a shopper who is not themselves pick out the same quality, same food that they want and making sure that they get it, which if you're not going to go get it yourself, you can't really complain about quality. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for gig workers, shoppers, and everything that goes into any shop and deliver order, not even just Instacart, but DoorDash, Uber Eats. I don't think Grubhub has too much in terms of shop and deliver orders, but nevertheless, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. TikTokers are raising the red flag when it comes to the male Instacart shoppers. Several creators have voiced their issues with Instacart shoppers who refunded their items rather than look for them, and they say men are regularly the culprits. You know, if the roles were reversed and some guy was complaining about a chick, this would be a totally different narrative, and a lot of people would be hating on the guy. But because it's a girl, it's suddenly okay. I'm not saying that they don't or do have a point, but I don't think discrimination's okay under any circumstances. Let's just be 100% clear on that. User Lifewithkimb initially made waves by sharing her frustration with the grocery delivery service, claiming that repeatedly when a man is assigned to do her shopping, they either replace or refund several items she ordered. I'm gonna leave her TikTok and her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. I'm so serious when I say that men do not take this job seriously because they see grocery shopping as female women's job and not something they should be doing, which shows very clearly every time I get an order with a male shopper, she wrote in the caption of her video. Okay, but if the guy is actually picking up the app and doing this type of order as opposed to DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, that shows that that's not at all the case. So don't go saying stuff like that. That's really disgusting. Brianna, the Thebloomingbabe, stitched the TikToker's video saying the thing is about male Instacart shoppers is 100% true. I will also tag her TikTok and her profile in the description as well so you can develop your own opinions on that. To illustrate her point, she says that a shopper the night before refund her request for frozen meatballs and then refund her timely request for a substitute brand, leaving her to wonder if he just hadn't wanted to bother looking for them at all. Well, not being able to find a specific item may have a lot to do with the way the store is laid out. Does this justify the fact that he refunded the item without her consent? No, but that's not a male or female thing. That is literally the guy couldn't find the meatballs. They were trying to call you to find out if they were going to need a replacement or something, but you didn't answer or something to that effect. Then they issued a refund because they couldn't get a hold of you. So Brianna drove to the same grocery store the following day and actually filmed herself looking directly at bins with frozen meatballs fully stocked up. It just so happens that somebody was stocking in that area, and I asked them, hey, were these meatballs out of stock yesterday? She said no. The meatballs were definitely in stock yesterday. The TikTok are added, and now I'm going to have to be a Karen and reduce his rating and his tip. Okay, first off, if any customer justifies tip baiting under any circumstances, you cannot accept them as a customer. I don't care if it's justifiable or not. You're going to tip bait the guy that's really disrespectful, and honestly, you shouldn't even be on the platform. However, the fact that it was a day later shows that they're not actually going to have the opportunity to tip bait, so she's just revealing her character in that right. Don't even take her as a customer. Viewers of both videos claim to have similar frustrating experiences, specifically with male Instacart shoppers. Yeah, but here's the reality on this subject. On TikTok, there is a huge plethora of people who go onto TikTok just to hate on men as a whole. And you think that it's going to be different because they're male Instacart shoppers? No, not at all. They just want to rally around the idea that men are the worst thing on earth. This, in the middle of him shopping and refunding most of my items, I called Instacart and asked for a new shopper, wrote hello, goodbye to. Guess what? The new shopper found almost everything, and you guessed it, it was a woman. So you took the order completely out of his hands in the middle of a shopping trip, and you decided that was okay for you? You didn't even guarantee that he was actually doing your shopping wrong. You just decided, hey, this person, I don't like them, get rid of them, they're not worth the time. That's really messed up. You really wasted his time in that front. And Instacart shoppers, and seeing some of these guys in the store is rough. They act like they never went grocery shopping before at Christine Casey 7 added. Hey look, I am not gonna sit here and pretend that every Instacart shopper is good or bad. Some Instacart shoppers are really good, and a lot of them are women. But don't get it twisted. That doesn't mean a guy is a bad shopper. It means that a guy is doing the shopping, good or bad. Another viewer wrote, this girl posted that a guy got her a white onion as an alternative to a green apple. It's gotta be on purpose at this point. I ordered pads and he bought me incontinence diapers, shared Miss Lillian Vance. I know that they work, but he didn't put any effort to find the pads at Walgreens. Walgreens actually is pretty annoying with their stocking because they will totally run out of things, and Walgreens is actually really annoying with their staff as well. One time I actually ended up asking for help from a manager, and he did everything in his power to refuse to help me. Like, I don't know why somebody like that should be working at a Walgreens if they're not even going to do their job and help us out. Yeah, he could have put more effort into finding pads, and no, he shouldn't have changed the item to diapers, but the Walgreens guy could help him as well, you know? Another viewer directed people to the Instacart subreddit where they claimed it's always guys talking about how they take orders and just refund everything they don't want to look for. There's another point to be made that it's just Reddit that you're talking about, and just like there are guys pretending to be girls that are teenagers and asking stupid questions like that, there's also girls that'll be guys and acting incompetent. Like, you gotta understand that goes both ways. Literally saw a guy say he took a 4-item order and he just refunded all the items to get the pay. They wrote. That's kind of annoying. There's gonna be people that try to game the system no matter what, if they're a guy or a girl, but that's not a gender thing. That's a scumbag thing. Despite Instacart's boom during the early days of the pandemic, frustration with the level of service received relative to the cost may very well be contributing to the struggle it faced this year. It feels like weaponized incompetence, seasoned salt observed. Okay, well, first off, Instacart's boom is really more contributing to the idea that they were more focused on getting bought out than they were actually growing into their own brand. Let's get that clear now. And the whole weaponized incompetence thing, geez, people who say that sound exactly like my sister. And let me tell you something, we don't like my sister. I decided for you and your safety that you do not like my sister. Anybody who claims that weaponized incompetence is a major factor here is really doing everything in their power to make it seem like everything is everybody else's fault but their own. Like, yeah, there are some people that have a harder time understanding things. Not that they're weaponizing their incompetence. Are there people that utilize a weaponized incompetence? Yes, those people are frustrating, but that's not a gender thing either. I know that there are a lot of women that are weaponizing incompetence. Sometimes it's for doing less work at the workplace. Sometimes it's to get a guy to notice her. Don't think that doesn't go both ways. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. This might be my most controversial video on the subject of the gig economy yet, because I think that it's really frustrating to have a type of discrimination specifically because of things that you cannot control. A guy can't control whether or not they're a guy or a girl or how their brain is wired, and the same thing goes for girls. Can people make the argument that women are better shoppers than men? Sure, they are wired differently, and that is a proven proven fact. However, that doesn't mean that guys can't do things that women can do, and that doesn't mean women can't do things that guys do. The whole point of feminism is for equality, not oppression. So people acting this way towards male gig workers is really disgusting. Are there guys and girls in the gig economy that do scummy things, such as refunding all the items and getting paid? Sure. And it's not specifically a one-gender thing that people do that. I've seen women in the gig economy pull shady stuff too. All in all, none of this justifies discrimination. None of this is weaponized incompetence. Sometimes things are just a little bit more challenging for the guys. Can something be said about him not finding the meatballs at that point? Sure. Maybe he was looking in a completely different section that he should have been. That's a place where I would overlook those little frozen bins instead of the frozen stand-up refrigerators or whatever they're called, freezers. I have overlooked that before, and I've had to ask somebody to help me on the subject. Could he have done that? Sure. Does it justify his actions? No. But it has nothing to do with him being a guy. It's just that simple. It's more about him being a lazy piece of garbage, which can easily be said about a guy and a girl. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.